Hello and welcome back everybody to the Human Reignition Project. No, project. Screw it. Anyway, we are on our way back, I suppose, with Kojo. And let's see what happens, shall we? Oh, why am I... I'm so used to using the mouse because of Everlasting Summer. But on the Human Reignition Project there was no Spanish language update. Therefore, it also works with the controller. Yay! But before I can ask him about more stuff, we're saying goodbye outside the store. I wonder where Kojo lives, what his life is like. I lock up the store and switch off the lights. I wonder if it's better than this. Good question, actually. I'm interested in that as well. I'm jolted awake by a piercing noise. Eyes burning, I reach out and fumble over my nightstand until I grasp my phone. By squinting at the painfully bright screen, I can make out that I have an unknown caller. And that it's 2 a.m. What? Come and meet up with me. I'm sure I know the voice. Who is this? Senri Kanzaki. What do you want? Do you remember how Kojo asked us to talk to someone? I've decided you'd be the most tolerable. At 2 a.m. Lady, if you are not drunk as shit, there is no excuse. That's great, but I'm glad you appreciate it. Can you come here now? It is the middle of the night. Right. I was asleep. Okay. I want to go back to sleep. I strangle a yawn and massage my forehead with my fingertips. Why were you asleep so early? You call this early? Of course. It's not even getting light. Anyway, you need to talk to someone too, don't you? No, I already... Oh, fuck me in the A. Senri is, the one who argued with Kojo, right? I thought she was, the cold one, but she's actually the bitchy one. Yeah, whoops, my bad. I don't even remember what kind of voice she had. Like, but I don't remember for the... I mean, Hitomi and the pink girl obviously got a softer voice. But I guess for the rest of the girls I just go with the flow. Yeah, that makes sense, I guess. Kojo's earlier request leaks back into my thoughts. I'm supposed to be getting to know her. Crap. Maybe I can. How about I come see you after work today? That's fine. Great. Just send me an address. I terminate the call without waiting for a reply. Once my phone is set to silent, I toss it aside and roll over. It's the back end of the afternoon ship. Yeah, I'm already shipping, you know. And the gaps between customers are stretching further. Now that things are quieter, Kyotaro swaggers up to the counter, sighing with relief. I hate day shifts. You know what it's like working out back for 8 hours? Maybe you should actually come in for your night shifts then. Is this about last night? Because I definitely meant to call you. I wanted to come, but fate got in my way. You managed alright on your own. I wasn't alone. His face drains of color. Don't tell me boss showed up. Kojo came by and said he was looking for you. Oh, him. Yeah, I promised to help him with some stuff. I've been meaning to make time. Seems you were free last night. Hey, for your information, I was doing something important. More important than having a job? He's talking about sex. Don't be so childish. Of course he does. Because that is all people do and think about. Kyotaro shrugs and lets his gaze wander to a rack of magazines. Come on, man, what were... So, did Kojo say anything else? But I actually assume he's talking, he met with Setsuna or something. He speaks sharply, looking at the door. Are you changing the subject? Man, like that must have some interesting things to say. It's pointless trying to talk to him when he's like this. He took me out on a walk just to ask me to get to know the entire group. Seriously? You sound pretty down for a guy who's been handed an excuse to chat to a bunch of cute girls. You're going to make Setsuna jealous. Hey, not cool. I've told you, I'm a lone wolf. Anyway, I'm not sure I want to do it. Sanri called me at 2 in the morning to ask if I wanted to meet up. Hyo grimaces at the mention of Senri. Yeah, tell me about it. Even if you forgot about her, this whole thing feels off. 3 phones that are being tracked? Come on. By the way, why do you people hate Senri? I mean, she says what she thinks. That is not always bad. I mean, she's very straightforward. But still, like, come on. If Gojo was up to something bad, he wouldn't have told us that, would he? Yeah, but maybe it's like a double screw, you know? He tells you because he knows you would find out anyway. But by that he gets your trust, and in the end you're screwed anyway. You know what I mean? It's a surprisingly good point. Well, apparently Ken is stupider than I am. But hey, don't tell me you're actually going to see Senri. Yeah, she messaged me some address out in the old city. Damn. I'm not taking the blame if you get stabbed out there. Yeah, thanks. I'm going to wait for a cab. He sticks his tongue out at me as I go. I punch in the old city address. Once I tap my phone on the payment screen, I settle back into the cab's thin seat padding. It's estimating a half-hour trip. It's times, isn't it in half-hour trip? No, an hour. Yeah. That is always something that confused me. I mean, English spelling makes little to no sense. I mean, there are some things you can orientate yourself, but in general it makes no sense. Which, you know what is actually funny? Like when I get tired, I start to write things the way I hear it, you know, or the way you would say it. Like I start writing, for example, I said to myself, I am stupid. And I write sad S-A-D. Even though, of course, I meant S-A-I-D. But, you know, in German it's very much, you say something, and by listening to it, you know how to write it. That's why English spelling is not that easy, actually. Where was I? Me and my stories. There we go. It's times like this that I regret not carrying a small hit of Ambrosidone in my pocket. Yeah, you junkie friendo. I guess I can just enjoy the scenery. Seeing another car on the road out here is almost a novelty. There's such a surplus of houses that most streets are only occupied by a couple of families. Some by just a couple of people. The rent is cheaper, and I even considered some places out here when I first came to the city. But it felt too off. The whole area is like a post-apocalyptic film, with decaying buildings everywhere. When I factored in the cost of transport, the decision was basically made. I wonder why Senri wanted to meet here. Maybe because she lives here. The autocab stops outside an array of crumbling concrete buildings. I get out and watch it rumble away into the distance. My GPS thinks one of the taller buildings is Senri's choice of location. It looks like the kind of place people get stabbed. I'm having serious second thoughts about this, but I did just pay an extraordinary cab fare. Hey! Senri crosses the lot in my direction. What do you have there? Is that a pencil? Or an electrical cigarette? Or something like that? I think she's smoking. Whatever she is smoking, though. She stops in front of me. Maybe it's something new. Ambrosidone, the tobacco version, I don't know. And takes a long suck from whatever she's holding. I didn't know you smoked. She blows a swirling cloud into my face. It tastes oddly sweet. I don't. It's an e-cig. All vapor. Was kinda right on that one. I guess no one smokes cigarettes outside of films anymore. There's silence while I wait for her to explain while we're standing in an overgrown yard, but she just stares at me, sucking on her e-cig. So, how's it going? How's what going? I don't know. Things. There's a pause while she considers the question. Things are normal. That is good. No, just normal. You should listen to people. Okay. Why did I agree to this? Yeah, she's... judging by that, I hate people like that. Like, sorry, but this is just not my... If someone says, hey, how you doing? And she says, it's okay, and well, that's nice, no, it's okay. I like, boom, bitch, get out of the way. You know what I mean? Like, You should come inside, it's cold. Yeah, that would be great. Senri leads me up through one of the buildings. The lights are off, but things seem well maintained. At the top of several flights of steps, she pulls out a key and opens the door. My apartment. It makes mine look good. Well, it looks kinda okay, a little bit old school, I guess. There's a carpet, but it's so dirty it could pass for arable land. Strewn on top is a clutter of ancient electronics, like those in older films. Silicone microchips, smartphones, and laptop computers. Yeah, that fucking old shit. They're covering everything, except the mangy chair in the middle of the room. What is this stuff? Electronics. I tinker with them in my spare time. Why? Senri shrugs. Did she mention being a robotics student at the meeting? Maybe it's all part of that. Senri weaves between the clutter and claims the chair. Spreading out, she motions for me to join her. I traverse the obstacle course, almost tripping twice. When I finally make it over, she doesn't budge. Is there another chair? No. Why? Instead of pointing out that I'll need to sit on her, I settle for clearing a space on the floor. There's a stillness as we sit together, broken only by the dust motes revolving in the soft wedges of afternoon sun. There is no traffic or distant voices outside, and not even a dripping tap in here. It's surreal. Well, this is a nice place. Not really. We lapse back into silence. Senri, I think I said Senri before, because NR is like... Well, N Japanese R is like impossible. At least for me. Senri peers down at me. I have to look away. There has to be something I can say that'll get her to talk. She recognized that I was on Ambrosie Dome back at the convention center, when she was already analyzing Kojo's motives. Maybe she has an opinion about the phones. Hey Senri. What? Remember when you told me you thought this whole thing might be a scam for a cult or something? Yes. I've just been thinking about it. Like, the way Kojo gave us the phones and everything was kind of weird. Do you still think that he's a con artist? Senri exhales deeply before she answers. No, he doesn't talk like a con artist, and all he's trying to get from us is rational discourse. Yeah, but like, are all your cultists in the future stupid? Like, I mean, I said from the beginning, when everyone said, yeah, he's a cultist, I said, man, your people are judgmental. But yet now you're quite the opposite. You trust him like, no, he's not. How do you know? You don't know that man that well. And he gave you phones that he's tracking down that, Okay. In this world, only black and white exists, while gray is basically gone. Well, that's good. If he isn't dangerous, nothing's forcing you to stick around. I don't know, by the way, am I kinda hyperactive? That's probably because I'm fucking tired. Work and shit. You should try it, people. No, please don't try it. You better watch my videos. Jesus, what is wrong with me today? What the fuck is wrong with me? Luckily, Senri misses the emphasis. You're wrong. Kojo is still very dangerous. Well, thank you, lady. When people think technology is something to be afraid of, it holds humanity back. At worst, people begin to distrust life-saving technology. The last point, okay. The first point, oh well, it depends. I want to make that clear to the rest of you before you start believing Kojo's drivel. How kind of you. It is, isn't it? Feel free to thank me. Maybe later. Anyway, if that's it, why are you playing along? Playing along? You know, inviting me here. Oh, you would kick me out if you thought I was only there to make him look like an idiot. But I also invited you out here specifically to ask you something. Senri leans down, so our faces are almost touching. Her eyes are full and bright. Ever since the convention center, I haven't been able to get you out of my mind. What the fuck? No, that is not that talk. My heart starts to beat a little faster. So, Ken, I thought I'd invite you out here when no one would be watching or listening, and you ask me about the Ambrosidone. Sweat forms on my palms. I am forced to swallow. There is no way. She couldn't be, of course not. I want to try Ambrosidone. Get me some. Yeah, I mean, I told you, man. You are so naive. Please. She couldn't be. I collapse with a long breath. Why? I've been researching it, and now I want to try it. Then just buy some. I don't want to hand my address over to a bunch of shady guides. Can't you get it for me? I have never had any problems with them, but it's as scary as a first-timer. Well, it is expensive, so I'm not just going to give it to you. I wasn't expecting you to. I'll pay. Great, but I'm not coming all the way back out here to give it to you either. She takes another drag. I suppose that would have been a little too much to ask for. Fine, I'll come to you, if you give me your address. Alright, pass me your phone. Write it down. I don't like to store sensitive information digitally. Strange for someone who barely looks away from her phone. Do you have any paper? Try the back shelf. Grumbling, I round the chair, cruise around a stack of 20-year-old computers, and search the grimy shelving at the back of the room until I spot a notepad and a pencil. Something catches my eyes as I'm illegibly scratching my address. It's an IG6. The back has been removed, and there are several screws beside it. I bring it back to the chair. Hey, is this your IG6? Yes. So, what happened? I tried to install some software to check what Kojo did to it. And it bricked, so I checked if I could do anything to the hardware. And I couldn't. Did Kojo do something weird to them? Like I said, he's an idiot. Not malicious. He probably just did what he said, with something extra to stop us undoing it. You think he'll be mad? She shrugs. I decide not to press the issue and hand her my address along with the phone. Jesus, this music is loud compared to the former music. There, I'm usually asleep or at work during the day, so you'd better come by in the evening. Senri nods and pockets the note. I will. We sit silently for a while longer, the dust motes fading from view as the sunlight disappears. Senri seems to have gotten tired of conversation and is now playing with her phone. Deciding I fulfilled my promise to Kojo, I stand up. I think I'm going to leave. Okay. I keep watching her, but she doesn't even look up. I exit the building, slightly bewildered and completely worn out. I didn't know talking to her would be such a chore. I forgot. I once knew. It's safe to say that spending more time out here doesn't improve the scenery. If anything, it's getting worse. The ground is choked with weeds and littered with broken glass and empty cans. To top it off, it's getting dark. I should have been watching the time, but talking to Senri required all of my concentration. If that's the kind of human interaction Kojo's pushing for, I'm not sure it's worth it. You know, that one time, Ken, that one time, your doucheness is on the right track. Talking with her is tedious. I sigh and lean against a nearby tree, trying not to let the icy bark scratch my back. If Senri hadn't dragged me out here, I could be back at home, in the warm, sitting down to watch some crappy TV with a glass of Ambrosidone. Yay, junkie. I really have been drinking a lot of that stuff lately. Yay, junkie. No, I'm overthinking it. A sudden thunder of footsteps snaps me back to reality. Startled, I spin around and find someone hurtling towards me with the force of a meteor. I'm just about to dive out of the way when I recognize her. Arya? Oh, you! We didn't talk much to you yet, right? Kinda even forgot about you, to be honest. Arya's head jerks up, and she skids to her halt beside me. It takes a moment for her confusion to dissipate. Hey, Ken, right? What are you doing out here? I could ask you the same thing. Her chest is heaving, but she's not exactly dressed for running. Oh, you know, the usual. Before I can ask what the usual is, she jolts up straight, tilting her head to one side. Hey, shut up a second. I wasn't even... Jeez, Ken, I asked for one thing. Shh. We stand like that for a while. Aya staring intensely at nothing, while I shift awkwardly from foot to foot. Can you hear that? I strain my ears. Nothing but the wind and the faint sound of traffic. Maybe a car alarm a few streets away. I do not hear anything. Instead of answering, Aya nods, apparently satisfied. Me neither. Guess I managed to lose them a few blocks back. Wait, what? Aya catches my expression and laughs, sticking her hands into her pockets. I said I lost them. Don't look so worried. People who are chasing you? Well, why the hell did you think I was running? To keep up my stellar physique? I get the feeling the mockery is just to change the subject. But who were they? Don't know. What? Sorry, I didn't stop and ask. Do you think I should have? She sighs, as if acknowledging that's not really an answer. I tried to get into a building that wasn't as abandoned as I thought. They were in there, and I didn't stick around to stay high. Probably just homeless people who didn't want me to come back to their spot. She seems almost bored. Why were you trying to break into an empty building? Call it a hobby. I don't know. Abandoned places are pretty cool, don't you think? No. No, like no. No. Like people tell me. Tell me in the comments. Am I that boring? Or are these people just that crazy? Like, do you go in abandoned buildings just for the fuck of it? I mean, like in the heat of the moment, two young boys, or young boy and a young girl, or two girls, whoever gives the fuck, and they see an abandoned building and they say, hey, you know what would be crazy? We'll do that, and then they'll do it and wow, hype, and yeah, testosterone or ovaries, whatever you own and possess. But, like, just for the sake of doing it all the time, who wants that? Poetic or something. Left to fall apart as everyone who used to live there moves on. Oh, so you're a poet. Aya shrugs, and I nod as if agreeing it's a healthy pastime. But hey, what about you? Can't imagine you're out here for the hell of it. I was meeting someone. Aya looks at me like I'm crazy. You were meeting someone? Out here? What are they? A drug dealer? It's surprisingly close to the truth. I didn't mean in the street. They live nearby. Really? Weird. I didn't think anyone was still out here. Except squatters, I guess. Are they a squatter? I'm pretty sure they're not. Because if they ask you to come out all the way out here to sell you drugs, they are probably squatters. I was not buying drugs. That's a shame. You could have given me their address. I blink in surprise. I'm kidding. I've got better things to do than spend all day getting high. You are one step ahead of Ken, lady. Like breaking and entering? Exactly. But if they're not squatters, this is a strange place to live. Maybe it does. Maybe. It does kind of give me the creeps. Really? A load of abandoned buildings after dark? That is not creepy. You said it yourself. They are empty. What's there to worry about? You mean aside from drunks? Aya rolls her eyes. Right. But I'm pretty sure you're actually safe out here. You think? Aren't you way more likely to get mugged or something in a place like this? Aya looks up and down the empty street. Who are they going to mug? There's no one here. We are here. Yeah, but normally this place is a graveyard. A mugger would be better off pretty much anywhere else, where there's actually people with money to take. Yeah, no. Well, you see, in big cities and stuff, of course, there's much stealing and shit. But if you want to be murdered, it's probably better waiting in a drug quarter or something like that. Not quarter, that's not what you say in English. In a drug suburb. Yeah. You seem to know a lot about it. I'm expecting Aya to get defenses, but instead she just laughs. And you've got an unhealthy interest in it. Guess it makes us both guilty. Look, I come out here all the time, and I've never had any trouble. Apart from this time, you mean? You really can't let that go, huh? Like I said, they weren't a problem. I think we have got different ideas about what counts as a problem. She doesn't even seem to hear me. Yeah, by the way, even if you lost them, do you think it's intelligent to stay on the same spot all the time? And was only once too. It's not a big deal. Have you ever gotten into trouble anywhere else, though? Well, no. But I still bet less happens out there than you think. Or maybe we just don't know as much about it because there are no cameras around. Come to think of it, this is probably where all the maniacs and serial killers hide out. I'm obviously joking, but Aya looks uneasy. Great, now you're freaking me out. You never thought about it? Okay. I have to stop, this episode is long enough. We just pick up where we... I mean, it's kind of a shitty point to stop, but anyway. Okay, so... the only kind of normal people in this game so far are Hitomi, the pink-haired girl, Setsuna, and I guess Kyotaro to a degree, and Kojo seems kind of normal. What I want to say is, we have the overly cold girl, we have the crazy girl who wants drugs from us, we have the crazy poetic artist one, like, what? And the other two girls we have are like overly shy. Well, the one is overly shy, but actually wants to express herself. She just can't, I guess. And the other one is like a cheery Chinese restaurant server. Really, like the most likable character from the girls, of course, of now is Setsuna, to be honest. Actually, I kind of like Hitomi and the other girl, but that's only because I don't have anything against people who are not that difficult, you know. But like Setsuna seems like a real person. And the others are just crazy. Or stereotypes, you know what I mean? Anyway, I'm babbling again. So, thank everybody for watching. Come back for the next episode if you enjoyed this one. And I'll see you then. Bye bye!